Welcome back to another edition of ProBoxingFans.com's The Fight Corner. Alright, I got Jermaine Perry in the studio, and we're going to be talking some boxing once again today. Now, we took a break last week, but let's get to Danny Garcia and the Herrera fight. That was a little bit of controversy over there. Close decision. You said he wouldn't overlook his opponent, and he might a little bit.
Maybe a lot.
A lot.
Maybe a lot. It wasn't a good showing for Danny.
Yeah.
Not his last fight, and I'm going to say being in Puerto Rico, trying to please the fans, give them this great spectacle, probably played a big part into him not putting on the best performance.
And there was open scoring too, which is a little bit different than what it usually is. I think Texas does it. A couple states do it, and
not really a lot.
Not a lot.
Maybe
not a lot.
Few.
I don't really like it like that because then it kind of takes the suspense away from the end, and everyone knows, and it's not not the same for the fighters.
And then the fighter that's on top, that he knows is on top, it's taken away for his drive to still put on a good show. Like after, I believe it's the 4th and the 8th, they say, if I know I'm up, why take any risks?
Right, exactly.
And possibly get hit with a punch and put me down.
Exactly. And also on the undercard of that fight, we were previewing it last time, Deontay Wilder did what he had to do, man. 1 round knockout. Some say like he took a dive because he hit him with a big left hook and then a straight right, and then he went down Malik Scott, that is. And take us through that fight. It was kind of like real quick, 1 round.
Well, Malik Scott didn't perform what usually Philadelphia fighters normally do.
Went down.
I don't know, man. Maybe he took a dive, maybe not.
Yeah,
I guess
I don't think so. But just a big punch. He didn't want to be in there anymore. Now, shades of Mike Tyson a little bit. We were talking about the Michael Spinks fight before. How Michael Spinks didn't really want to be in there. Maybe he took a dive. Not really, but he got knocked down pretty quick. Do you see any shades of Mike Tyson in there, or is it too soon for that?
Possibly. The only thing is, Tyson was a much bigger name right now. So it's like if you take a dive at Tyson, you coming out with a good payday.
Right.
I don't think Wilder produces that yet.
Not yet. But we'll see. He 31 knockouts, 31 fights. Just that's Mike Tyson type numbers right there. So we'll see. Also, some big news. So Amir Khan and Broner, they were talking, maybe fighting each other for a while. Yeah. But now we know they're gonna be fighting on the same night, but just not against each other.
They bamboozled the world.
Oh man,
they bamboozled this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess it was more so. I don't know. I guess Khan is not really as big as he was a couple years ago.
Yeah.
And Broner is Floyd's protege.
Right.
So it was like, okay, he's coming off the loss. Khan has something to prove still, kinda. So let's throw them together. Right. And then if you beat Broner, which Mayweather has said, then I will fight you. So
right.
We'll see.
We'll see. And so Amir Khan's opponent, just so everyone knows, if you don't already, Amir Khan's fighting Luis Collazo, who is he's a name a little bit. He had some big fights back in the day. Ricky Hatton, he fought Andre Berto, and he fought most recently, knocked him out, Victor Ortiz. But Ortiz seems second round, a big right hook, but. Ortiz really isn't a benchmark anymore. I think he's kind of, he
lost his luster.
Right, exactly. So Collazo, calling for Mayweather after that fight, but he's getting the next thing. He's fighting on the same card as Mayweather for him, which is really good.
Which is big money. Big money. That's always a good thing.
And so now Broner is fighting Carlos Molina, who there's a couple of Carlos Molinas out there in the boxing world, not to be confused with the 154 titleist. So. Take us through that, man. I think Broner is moving back down to 140. I think he's got a better shot there. What do you think? It's kind of a tune-up bout for him.
It's definitely a tune-up bout. It's more of like a confidence rebuilder, not builder, rebuilder, because he has a lot of confidence. But after taking a loss like that, the way he did, it was pretty bad.
Yeah.
And then to be the type of guy that he is, very flamboyant, really into himself, to lose like that is like, you could say you're back, but we saw what happened.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, okay, now we got to build him back up to what he was.
Right, and what better place to start on a Mayweather undercard?
Great place to start.
I mean, either make you or break you. So we'll see what happens with that. Now, talking about Mayweather, we're going to talk about Pacquiao next week, but Mayweather-Pacquiao kind of as things happening right now. Adonis Stevenson and Sergey Kovalev. We all know that Adonis Stevenson this week is moving over to Showtime with Golden Boy and Al Heyman. And a lot of people are saying that, He's running. That's the speculation that he doesn't want to fight Sergey Kovalev and mess it up. He's on a nice little streak now. Don't want to mess it up by running into a big buzzsaw that would be Sergey Kovalev. What do you think about that? Do you buy into that, or what do you think?
You could go 50-50 because they had a deal that they will fight after a tune-up bout, after both of their tune-up bouts. Then he decided to go with more money eventually. So can you call it running? You can, because they already had a deal. But if I'm a boxer, I'm going to take the bigger check every single time because it's such a real physical sport. Why not? Why not take the money?
Also, I mean, taking the bigger check would probably be against Sergey Kovalev, but then again, it doesn't set you up for, they always say the cash cow, and you want to milk that cash cow.
Exactly.
If Adonis Stevenson was to lose to Sergey Kovalev, there goes the prize money for the later down the road.
Right. And with the current fight, the tune-up fight, by him switching over, he's getting more money for that fight too.
Right.
So it's like, okay, do I want to just wait until I can take more money from the start, or do I want to wait and then have the big fight? Why not take the most money every single fight? Right. So that's probably his mindset on it.
Now let's preview real quick Sergey Kovalev, because I did bring up his name. He's fighting Cedric Agnew this weekend at Atlantic City. Now Cedric Agnew, he's undefeated, but he's a little bit more of a technical fighter. But a lot of people see this matchup as a kind of an overmatch for him. He's probably going to be overpowered with
more than likely.
Overpowered.
More likely, yes.
And probably like nothing he's ever seen before. Now he's been clamoring, Cedric Agnew, clamoring for a while to fight one of these big guys, B-Hop or Stevenson, but now he's finally got one. How do you think he's going to fare in this one?
We'll see. Preparation. He wanted the fight. Normally, when fighters want this fight, they normally come in prepared. So that's what it's going to come down to. I believe he will be prepared.
Okay.
He wants
He'll be prepared.
The big names too much to be unprepared.
Let's do predictions, because I'm predicting he's probably going to get knocked out in probably the 5th or the 6th round. Kovalev is he's pretty
big puncher.
Big puncher.
Big puncher. I'm gonna push later. Okay. I'm gonna say the fight goes the distance. I'm hoping.
You think he's gonna go the distance?
I'm hoping. Wow, I'm not saying he's not gonna get knocked down, but I'm hoping the way that he wanted the fight, that he will come in at least prepared enough to go the distance.
It's one thing, talking out of the ring and then actually being in the ring. So it's a little bit. We'll see. We'll see what happens with that.
Big difference.
So I'm predicting a knockout. He's going to continue the streak. He has 21 knockouts in 23 fights. So don't be surprised if he does get knocked out. Contrary to what Jermaine is saying here. Now, just real quick, we'll just talk about Bradley Pacquiao. They had a little face-off, confronting some words, and we're going to preview and predict that fight next week because we got some differences in opinions on that. But they've been exchanging words. What you think that fight's going to be a good one?
Rightfully, it should be, because you have the controversial, very, very, very controversial win for Bradley. Then you got Pacquiao with the controversial loss, but then a legitimate loss. So yeah, bad blood, maybe not like really dislike each other, but as far as in the ring, very much bad blood, and I can't wait. I'm really excited.
All right, and so that's gonna pretty much do it here. We're gonna preview the rest of that next week. You're not gonna want to miss our predictions. They're gonna be good. We got some difference in opinions, like I mentioned before, and we're also gonna talk a little bit about Keith Thurman. He's just signed a fight. And we're also gonna talk about Juan Manuel Marquez fighting Mike Alvarado, maybe potentially getting the winner of that Bradley and Pacquiao fight. So we'll see. Some bad blood over there on both of those sides. So that's going to do it for this week's edition of ProBoxingFans.com, The Fight Corner. We'll catch y'all next week.